Oh, man. We got a good one in this upload. Wait till you hear what Cody Rhodes has to say to all those individuals that oppose his suit wearing. Whether cutting a promo or headed to the ring to fight 10 dudes at once, Cody out there rocking a 5-piece. Well, Cody has a strong statement to everybody that doesn't like him rocking those suits. We're going to talk about it in this upload. I'll give you an exact quote. We're also going to talk CM Punk in a tag team. The first name he drops is funny. The second name is something that could actually happen. But is that the right business decision? We'll talk about it. It's all in this upload. Just a few hours ago, we were live on the channel. Some really good discussion on WWE letting a ton of contracts expire. It's already started with the Dijaks and the Becky Lynches even, and Bobby Lashley and MVP next week, and it's going to continue. It's their new way to do business. We have a really good discussion on that in the live stream we put up just a few hours ago. Thank you to every single one of my subscribers that tuned into that live, and to all of my replay unit that will be checking that out over the next 48 hours. Appreciate that big time. We also had a really good discussion on Tony Khan. Heavy criticism on the AEW boss regarding the Jack Perry situation from Dynamite. But can they turn that huge negative into a massive positive? We talk all about it. And if Jack Perry is kind of the new CM Punk for AEW. We talk about that as well. And we talk the Raw preview for tonight. It's the go-home show, guys, to SummerSlam. Hard to believe that SummerSlam is in just 5 nights, but that is the case. Tonight's the go-home show, and the Olympics have DOS booted Raw off of the USA Network. So this is the worst possible time to get DOS boot for Raw, but it did. It's on Sci-Fi. We talk all about Monday Night Raw. It's in that live stream. We also talk Johnny Gargano, man. Asking Hunter Hearst Helmsley, we just want the opportunity to make this division special. Just give us the opportunity. But unfortunately, that's not going to happen. And we have a really good discussion on that, what Johnny Gargano is asking and why it's not going to happen. So that was a rockin' hour and a half live stream. Thank you to everybody that made that special. Now for this upload, you guys ready for this? Let's do it. Cody Rhodes. Right, the criticism for Cody, one of the biggest criticisms has always been his suits. Like, if you want to rock the suits, that's fine, but there's a time and place for it. And over the years, we've just seen Cody kind of show up in a suit, and it almost ruins the situation, right? It's like one of those photos, right? One of these doesn't belong, right? And it's usually always Cody's suits. But Cody is kind of blasting back now. This is what Cody has to say. This is a quote. Cody Rhodes says the following. Cody says, "I think I will always be a suit guy in the industry forever. And I don't know if this is appropriate for this show or not, but I'm going to say it. Anyone who I've ever worked with in this business who's intimidated by the fact that I wear a suit, I feel like they have a little dick. Like, clearly. I mean, I don't know if that's a thing we can say on this show, but clearly, like, come on, man. Everyone does what they do. Just because I don't want to wear shorts with you, give me a break. Maybe you can't use any of that on this show, but the energy that comes from people who are like, I don't know, man. He's in that suit. He's just trying to be something. No, I'm not trying to be something. I want to be something. That's the whole thing. So maybe not. Maybe little penises, he says, is the better way to put it. They know who they are with the little penises. End quote. That's legit. That is a quote from Cody Rhodes. You expect that maybe from like Dwayne Johnson or some others in the industry. But Cody Rhodes, until Roman gets back, we believe at SummerSlam or thereafter. But until Roman comes back, Cody Rhodes is your top babyface. And he's talking about, if you don't like the fact that I wear a suit, you got a little dick. And then he goes on to say, they know who they are, those little penises. How do you not have a laugh at that, man? I'm like, all right, I know I got time to do an amplified bonus upload for you guys. I have I have to talk that. There was other stories that I had on deck that didn't make the live stream a few hours ago, so I could have put them in this upload, but come on, that's too fun. Guys, I'll give you my take on the suit thing, right? That is something that is so polarizing. When people talk Cody Rhodes for any length of time, the suit always comes up. The reason I feel that it's so polarizing is because it's all the time. He is always in the suit. And I get why. He admits, I want to be something. That's why he wears the suit, right? He's portraying how he wants to be viewed, right? That's what a lot of humans do. They will dress accordingly. They will act accordingly. They will talk accordingly to how they want to be perceived, because perception is reality. Whether that's fortunately or unfortunately in life, that's just the way it is. Perception is reality. So Cody knows how he wants to be perceived. And you got to look at some of the big role models in his life, aside from his father, of course, Dusty. But Vincent Kennedy McMahon, he looked up to Vincent Kennedy McMahon big time. Most of these wrestlers always looked up to Vinnie Mac like he was like a second father. For some of them, like their upfront father. And John Cena was another huge, massive, to this very day, a massive influence to Cody Rhodes. And he always kind of embodied his career after John Cena. Always wanted to have that in line with John Cena. And if you guys know John Cena outside of WWE, he's always in a suit. Always. Or at least most of the time. Obviously not when he's in the gym and whatnot. But this guy's always rocking a very nice, expensive suit. And that's what Cody Rhodes kind of aligned his career with. The problem is that John Cena knows when to throw on the jorts, right? John Cena very rarely, I can't even remember a time, but maybe there was a time or two. But I can't remember a time John Cena's music hit and he was coming to the ring in a suit. I can't remember too many times, if any. He's always rocking the jorts. Doesn't matter if it's just a simple announcement, something to market for WWE for 2 minutes. He's got the wristbands, the armbands, the hat, the new merch, the jorts, the Nikes. He's in that character, right? So that's the issue that I think a lot of people have with Cody Rhodes. It's not the fact that you want to look presentable and you're rocking a promo in your 5-piece suit. We get it. That's cool. And you know what? It fits Cody a little bit, right? With the bleached blonde hair. The whole presentation of Cody Rhodes. It kind of fits with the suit. I don't think that's the issue up front with a lot of fans. I think the issue, and I'm talking fan perspective, it sounds like he's really hitting the people that he works with. And he says, you know who you are with the little penises. So he's talking about individuals he knows that he has worked with or currently works with that has an issue with him always walking around in a suit. So that's his co-workers, if you will, fellow talent, suits and ties. But I can say from the fans' perspective, it's not the upfront fact that he wears suits. It's the fact that he wears them all the time, and especially in situations that doesn't call for it. I'll give you guys an example. A few weeks ago, he was like being called out by the Bloodline. And he comes to the ring, and this is after he told Randy or KO or maybe both, he's like, I got this, right? So he comes to the ring knowing he's going to fight, by the way. They're not just going to hash it out over some breadsticks and salad at Olive Garden. He's going to the ring, and he's going to fight the Bloodline as a unit, as a whole group. And he comes to the ring still in his suit, basically. Maybe he had his jacket off. Maybe. But he comes to the ring in his suit. Why not just go into the gym bag, throw on some sweats, throw on a cutoff, and be ready to rock out, right? And it helps the fans believe into the situation a little more. Like, this dude is ready to fight, but he's ready to do it on his own. And instead, he comes down with his suit, and you're no longer, as a fan, subconsciously, you're not in fight mode. You're not thinking that he's coming to the ring to fight. You're thinking maybe he is going to try to hash this out over breadsticks and salad. It doesn't have the vibe of a badass that you can get behind, right? It's a dude in a suit. And still, to a lot of fans, a dude in a nice suit represents everything they're kind of against, right? It's that Wall Street guy. It's the CEO that thinks he's better than everybody, and he's crushing the little man. Right? So that's why Stone Cold works so good, right? Threw on the jeans and his little cutoff, his redneck baseball caps. And this dude was rocking out. What? Talking like the common folk. Talking like the common man. Guzzling some beer before he whoops some ass. That's heavily relatable. Cody Rhodes, not so relatable for a lot of fans. That's the issue. So he's talking more, I believe, for the people that he works with. But I can say the fan response is always rough when it comes to Cody Rhodes, because the polarization is a lot of his appearance. And I just feel if he learned how to cut out the suits in certain situations, it wouldn't be such a hot topic, and it wouldn't take away from the discussion of Cody Rhodes. I hope that makes sense. That's the biggest thing that I see. It's not the fact that he wears suits. Many faces, even though it doesn't usually fit with a face, a suit, it's usually with that Chris Jericho character that talked really slowly like this in his promos, right? That Chris Jericho when he had the shorter hair and he had the suits always, or Miz in a suit getting the crowd to boo him. Usually it's the heel in a suit. But once in a while, a face can rock it. It's got to be the right circumstances. With Cody, I don't think it's a harm or a foul. No harm, no foul. But when you wear him in situations that it's just... Dude, you're going to fight an entire group like the Bloodline. Throw on some sweats and a cutoff. Or you saying you showed up in just your suit and you didn't even bring your bag. That's where fans are like, all right, dude, come on. Can't you just leave the suit home for a night? But it sounds like Cody has a lot of people in the industry, like people that he works with, where it's been like an issue, or he's heard things to the point where he's like, you know what? They got little dick syndrome. They got little penises. They know who they are. Because I won't wear shorts with you, that's what you got on me? I want to be looked at as a businessman, right? I think that's the whole thing. Just seeing Vince McMahon in his suits and John Cena in his suits and them always together and John Cena being the guy and just how Vince would look at it. And again, these are two big role models for Cody Rhodes, or at least Vince was at one point. I'm not sure about these days, but but seeing that, I think he truly tried to emulate that and go, listen, I'm not going to be looked at as such until I change as such. So he became what he wanted to be, I guess, almost like a John Cena. So, and at least he admits that. He says, yeah, I want to be something. So I dress this way, and perception is reality. Interesting convo, man. I don't know how you guys feel about Cody Rhodes always in the damn suits. Sometimes I will admit it just doesn't fit the situation or the segment. But that's Cody Rhodes. That's where he feels his best. And it doesn't look like he's about to change. He says, and I quote, I will always be a suit guy in the industry forever. Let's move on to CM Punk. Now, it's pretty much a general feeling within WWE that Punk is going to be there for the long run. Even when his days in the ring are done, there's been a lot of chatter about him taking over for Shawn Michaels running NXT when Michaels decides to call it quits. And that is something that Punk has talked about in the past. He loves being down at the Performance Center, loves being around NXT, loves being around the gals especially. And they're all friendly with AJ Lee, so I think it's all kosher. But Punk loves it down there. I think that's the perfect fit for him. I think he would be a big addition for them. Maybe not just by himself, though. Maybe running it with somebody else when Michaels calls it quits. Or maybe he runs it with Michaels in the final few years before Michaels calls it quits. Maybe Punk helps him out. But he's always going to be there. But in the ring, the majority of his years are obviously behind him, right? So now the talk is to extend his career as much as they can. Do they put CM Punk in a tag team, right? That's always kind of been, since he's come back, chatter about Punk in a tag team. I never quite understood that. Punk does not work best in a tag team, nor should he be booked in a tag team. But he was recently asked about it. Punk has this to say about being in a tag team. And I quote from CM Punk, if I had to tag up with somebody to beat people up, it would probably be Larry. Larry the dog, obviously, who's 1-0, by the way, with a victory over Kenny Omega in a locker room brawl match that never made it to TV, never aired. But we are hearing that Larry did win that 1-0. He won it with his finisher, the Megabyte. But if not Larry, somebody on the actual roster or kind of, he talks John Cena. He says, and I quote, "Everybody's asking me because John Cena is retiring. Obviously, they want to see us fight each other. But I think there's something to me and him tagging. I think that could be very interesting," end quote. And of course, people ran with that. Just the concept, right? The thought of CM Punk and John Cena in a tag team. Now, I can see why that would be romanticized a little bit, right? Whoa, Punk and Cena in a tag team. Could you imagine? We have to see it before Cena retires or CM Punk retires or gets injured again. But I'm gonna play devil's advocate and look at it from the flip side. Is that really the best way to utilize the final few matches of John Cena? Is that really the best you got after 10 plus years of CM Punk being away? Comes back, gets injured, on the shelf for 6 months, whatever it's going to be. Comes back, and in a few months, he tags with John Cena, even if it's only for 2, 3, or 4 matches. Is that the best way you can utilize the final matches of John Cena's career? And really the last matches of CM Punk's run, possibly. Because he's renegotiating a contract, by the way. We don't know what that's even going to look like. If WWE and him are going to be able to finalize that contract, we don't know. Is that the best? John Cena and CM Punk in a tag team? I don't know many people that were clamoring for that before Punk talked about it. Now it's going to be romanticized a little bit. But I don't know how many people are truly clamoring to see Cena and CM Punk in a tag team. And I'm going to take it a step further. I would not book CM Punk with anybody. No tag team matches. CM Punk by himself is too big of an attraction. Too much money to be made. Maybe if the tag team division was relevant, if it actually existed. We talked about that a few hours ago in the live stream, by the way. Johnny Gargano asking Hunter Hearst Helmsley, basically just for the opportunity to make it special, because being the champions is only half of it. So we have a whole discussion on the tag team division or lack thereof. So I would refer you to that discussion as an expansion of this discussion, because there's no tag division. I don't think that would be the biggest problem with Cena and Punk, because they would tag, if they were to tag team, it would be against 2 other main eventers, obviously. Maybe they try to do something with Fatu and Solo Sikoa, for instance. There's just gotta be more. It's Cena's last matches. His last matches, man. Rumble's gonna be one of them, or if not the Elimination Chamber, or both. Probably gonna lose the Rumble, and his last chance will be at the Chamber, because he's already announced that he's gonna be at both. So 2 of those matches are already ex-nayed, right? Rumble and Elimination Chamber. He's probably gonna be in both of those matches. So that's just to say he's got 4 or 5, and that's being generous. 2 of them you can cross out. And you're going to take a few of them and tag them up with Punk. Now, I know this is just a little discussion. This is just what Punk is talking about. But once he said that, that pretty much caught wildfire in the community, like these things usually do. And now people are acting like this has to happen. We have to have Punk and Cena in a tag team before they call it quits. Do we, though? Is that really what we have to have? I don't know, man. Guys, I'm going to give you a little bit. If you didn't catch the live stream earlier, I'm going to hook you up here. I'm going to give you a little bit of a Raw preview. This will be a little bit more of a faster. We expand on it in the live stream. Make sure you check that out. It's up on the channel. We just put it up a few hours ago live. But Raw's preview tonight is as follows. You're going to get Balor versus Gunther. Should be a good match. We hope anyway. Although lately you've been seeing matches that we thought were going to be really good, like Sami Zayn and Dragunov, and it just didn't quite live up to it. But we think Balor and Gunther should be the match of the night. Other than that, you have the Creeds versus Otis and Tozawa. I don't know why. Because they just started that feud really last week, right? And the Creed brothers are now joining Chad Gable. And instead of building up a real good story and then you have them wrestle and fight, they're just going to have them already in matches. You can already see where this is going. They're already facing each other tonight. They're going to face each other probably 100 more times over the summer. I wish they would just build a story and then make us want to see Creeds versus Tozawa and Otis, but that's what you're going to get tonight. You're also going to get Sheamus versus, what's his name? Bronson Reed. I don't get this. We just saw this match 2 weeks ago. Same exact match, guys. So it's the exact definition of rematch, redundancy. There's no need for it. PD Dunne will probably cost Sheamus, so Bronson can have some retribution because Sheamus won the first match 2 weeks ago. So now Bronson wins this one. And that'll let WWE, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, go, you know what? They both won a match. Let's have them wrestle again. Rubber match. I don't know how many people are clamoring to see Sheamus versus Bronson for no reason at all. There's no reason for them 2 weeks ago to face each other other than to watch a wrestling match on a wrestling show. No reason behind it. Or I'm sorry, a week before, Bronson was like, I'm sick of celebrating you has-beens. It's time for the future. And then a week later, Bronson's looking up at the lights in 5 minutes. All right. So you had Bronson talk all this trash and he's looking up at the lights. And now we're getting it again. It's like we used to rip Vince and Kennedy McMahon for these redundant rematches. And now we have to kind of ask Hunter Hearst Helmsley, why are we getting these matches? Why are we rushing Creeds, Otis, and Tozawa? Why are you just doing Sheamus and Bronson again? PD Dunne again will probably cost Sheamus. I wouldn't doubt it, and that's how Bronson ends up winning. Or maybe Sheamus just beats Bronson for a second time. Because I don't think they have too much plans for Bronson anyway, but I would think PD Dunne gets involved, cost Sheamus. And then Sethington Rollins is going to explain the referee rules for this Saturday's SummerSlam between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. What? I'm sure Drew's been in the business for a little bit of time, a few years. And I'm pretty sure CM Punk has been in the business for a few years. I think they know the rules of what a referee is going to, but that's the segment they have planned. So we'll let the boys and gals do their thing. I'll do my due diligence on the notes. And within the next 24 hours, I will have the full amplified Raw review for you guys. I hope to do that live. If you guys are able to stop by at any point tomorrow, say what's up live, that would be really cool. If not, I'll have to film it really early. It'll get out to you guys hopefully by noon-ish. But no matter what, you guys will get that Raw review. That's what I got for you on this Amplified bonus. Appreciate you guys big time, man. Much love and respect. Until next time, and there will be that next time. Smash that up, by the way. Letting you know you amplify. Look at that. You are amplified. Smash that up. Help out the algorithm as well. I forgot to mention that at the beginning of this, but it is what it is. Until next time, there will be that next time. BC in the Amplified unit saying check you. Peace. Deuces, ooses. Yeet. Yeah, what? All right, more coffee, BC.